While we often use the terms liberty and freedom interchangeably, they do have some subtle differences. In the various books and essays that I read in the last module on the subject, it seems that even those who define liberty and freedom use them interchangeably and sometimes don't really agree on what the two words really mean. But as I more specifically read Aristotle's Politics from the lens of the week's readings on Aristotle's concepts of freedom, I find I appreciate his definition that freedom is the ability to choose for oneself what one chooses to do self-sufficiently. Englishman John Stuart Mill, writing in his book on liberty in 1859, also recognizes the idea or the principle of freedom as being able to pursue what one wants, regardless of consequences to oneself, so long as it does not harm another party. While freedom is basically unlimited, the idea of liberty is not. Man is free to do as he pleases, but the laws of liberty prevent him from endangering the freedoms and liberties of others. While Aristotle was no fan of democracy, he conceded that democracy is the most free of the four modes of government. Man is free to participate equally in government, regardless of his wealth or status. But to Aristotle, that kind of was dangerous. So in Book 5, he argues that because of this freedom and the fact that the lower classes will always outnumber the higher classes, democracies are always in danger of falling into tyranny. If every man is after his own interests freely and not wholly interested in the public good, then democracy becomes a rule of the many over the rights of a few. Man's freedom has to be tempered. And in Book 6, Aristotle claims that liberty is that principle that tempers freedom, in so many words. And quote, "The basis of a democratic state is liberty, where all rule and are ruled in their turn. Liberty ensures the freedom for all people." John Stuart Mill, in his book from 1859, also shares in the concerns that a fully democratic society with unlimited freedoms will also lead to tyranny, but not just tyranny of government elected by the many, but tyranny of the majority based on their feelings, their opinions, the culture of the time, whether that be a legal tyranny or even just a moral tyranny. When you think of moral tyranny, think of a social media comment section, like a Facebook on a controversial story, and this whole idea of cancel culture today. Liberty provides men with political liberties or rights that other men and or the government are not free to infringe upon, according to Mills. And it also holds the power of government in check through some kind of constitutional means, which Aristotle also talks about. The principle of liberty is the limits on the power that a rule or government holds over the community. Again, according to Mills, liberty protects freedom. So take, for example, our Bill of Rights. They're all written in negative terms. They don't tell American citizens what freedoms they have. They tell the government what liberties Americans have that the government may not infringe upon. The First Amendment, for example, says Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof or abridging the freedom of speech or of the press or the right of the people peaceably to assemble and to petition the government for redress. These are guaranteed political and civil rights. They are liberties that we are given as American citizens. Thus, Americans are free to choose their freedom, the best course for them in these areas, so long as they don't violate the law or infringe upon somebody else's liberty to use them. The government cannot step in. And on liberty, Mills continues to argue that a person's liberty to express, for example, his opinion should not be taken away unless that person is inciting violence or other actions that threaten another's life, liberty, property. While Mills tends to also kind of conflate the two terms, liberty and freedom, and uses them interchangeably in some parts, he does write with enough differences that you can see the differences in some subtle ways. But I'm going to leave with this quote from On Liberty by Mills. "No society in which liberties are not, on the whole, respected is free, whatever may be its form of government, and none is completely free in which they do not exist absolute and unqualified. The only freedom which deserves the name is that of pursuing our own good in our own way, so long as we do not attempt to deprive others of theirs or impede their effort to obtain it." Thank you.